Hello, everyone. This is Travis the Trader coming back to you live. It's Saturday, September the 21st. Wanted to give everyone an update as to my trading account for the week of September the 20th. And what a weekend it's been. As everyone knows, on Wednesday, we saw the Fed lowering interest rates by 50 basis points. And I believe the markets were down on Wednesday, came up again on Thursday. And Friday was kind of a mixed day, but wanted to share with you just my thoughts of my account and where things might be headed. So I had actually uploaded a video. My first position is /6A, which is the Australian dollar. It's a strangle in November. I had uploaded this trade onto a video. I think it was a couple of videos ago, and again, the IV rank on this was quite high. IV has come down quite a bit, which again, as premium sellers, we're looking for as high of an IV as we can, and then buying it back, selling it as high as we can, and then buying it back for as low as we can, collecting the difference. So that's /6A. And of course, we'll continue to monitor that position. I then have /MCL, that's micro crude oil futures. I guess some people look at this as an indicator as to whether there will be war either in the Middle East or in other parts of the world. And right now, it seems everything seems to be quiet on the home front. Just been kind of trading in the high 60s, low 70s. Again, have a strangle on a 60.77 strangle. And it's worked. And again, look to take it off at 50% gain. /SI. SI is silver futures. I'm actually bearish on the metal, on this particular metal right now. Again, it's working. I've got 36 days to expiration. We'll look to take this off hopefully at a 50% gain. /ZN. ZN is the 10-year note futures. As I mentioned before, this past Wednesday, when the Fed they decreased rates by 50 basis points, /ZN was actually down, meaning that prices were down, yields were up, as opposed to prices go up and yields come down. There's an inverse relationship, as I'm sure everyone knows. If someone can explain what that means, that would be great. And again, not to digress, but please, for those of you who find value, subscribe to my channel, as well as leave me a comment, a thumbs up, so I can have the YouTube algorithms give me some kind of a positive draw here. But again, that's /ZN, and again, we'll look to take this off, hopefully at a 50% gain. Moving on to the equity side, AA, that's Alcoa, not Alcoholics Anonymous. Was actually doing quite well with this for a while, and then my puts are now slightly in the money. It's a 35 put, and we'll continue to monitor this position. I got earnings coming up in less than a month, so let's see what happens. ARKK, which is an ETF. I got a 46 put. It's working. It's doing what it has to do. I'm still overall bullish on the ETF. I again looking to take this off, hopefully at a 50% gain, and of course we'll keep myself busy with that. BAC, that's Bank of America. Bank of America, by the way, has earnings also a little less than a month away. I've got a 41 naked put. Stock's at about 40 and a quarter right now. I will roll this into the next month and probably will keep this going into earnings unless I can take this off sooner for hopefully a 50% gain. BITO, BITO. For those of you, again, who are seeking exposure into the world of crypto, specifically Bitcoin, this is one of the ways to go about it. BITO, just as I'm sure everyone knows, I believe is the only ETF where one can buy or sell options. And I think these are not the spot or the cash markets, but these are based on futures, or forward-looking instruments. So for those of you who are looking for that, it's a good product to have. I think it's just something that can provide further diversification in one's portfolio for one seeking that kind of exposure. CZR is Caesars. I've got a covered call, 35 covered call. And again, and I'll keep saying this, I guess, till I turn blue. Um, if I get assigned, I get assigned. But right now, it's working. The stock has gone up. Again, we are in a covered call position, so we are still bullish. Still need the stock to move up. Most likely, I'm going to have to probably roll this again, continue to get more credit, continue to reduce my cost basis, and we'll continue going down that path. DKNG is DraftKings. DraftKings. Oh, by the way, sorry, Caesars has earnings about a month, end of October. DraftKings has earnings actually more than a month away. We're looking at about 6 weeks, give or take, in the first week of November. I've got I have 4 covered calls, 400 shares, 4 covered calls. Calls are still plenty of extrinsic value in them right now. Most likely, I'm going to have to roll them next week and see what happens. We'll see how this thing continues to move forward. But again, the thing about the covered call, remember, is that we are bullish. And again, the purpose of having that covered call once we do get assigned is to reduce that cost basis on that. On the amount that we had to, on the shares that we had to take in, on the money that we had to pull out of our pocket in order to pay for the shares. EWW, that is Mexico. If any of you online can tell me what's going on with Mexico, I greatly appreciate it. I can't seem to get an uptick, and I was assigned at 66, and the stock is 54. So I've got ways to go. Again, I'll just continue to sell a covered call against my shares. Not most likely, I am going to roll this into the next month and just continue to roll and roll and roll until I can reduce my cost basis. So if anyone out there knows what's happening with Mexico, love to hear from you guys on that. GDXJ is the junior gold miners. Again, for those of you who are seeking exposure to gold, /GC or GLD, which tends to be pretty big products, big boy pants as I like to call them. GDXJ is one way to go about doing that. Is one way to expose oneself to gold. I've got a 30, 39, 49 strangle, and it's not really working for me so great right now. Gold, as I'm sure everyone has seen, is hitting new all-time highs. And again, that doesn't make sense either. And again, love to get your thoughts, comments on this. With inflation coming down, normally when inflation goes up, and we're seeing it on a steady basis, gold, the metals, gold, silver, copper, they tend to move up with it. But we're not seeing that in this market right now, at least with gold, for that matter. So, love to get one's thoughts, but again, my calls are slightly in the money on the call side for my strangle. Google, GOOGL. This is a 160 naked put. Google has earnings, just letting everyone know, in about a month. So it's a naked put. I'm bullish. I need this thing to move up. I'm hoping to take this off, hopefully by the end of the week. If not, most likely I'll roll it and may just take it in with me. It's earnings, but we'll worry about that later. INTC, Intel. I don't know if anyone's been following Intel, because you can see 260 million shares were traded on Friday. Apparently, there is a potential merger acquisition, M&A acquisition happening between Intel and Qualcomm. Qualcomm being the acquirer, Intel being the target. Will it happen? Will it not happen? I have no idea. But look at Intel's IV rank at the moment. It's over 100. Could be an interesting opportunity right now. Again, I have a covered call. What I might do on Monday, and I'll explain this in a video on Monday. What I might do is I might be selling puts in Intel and selling call spreads in Qualcomm. But let me see what happens. Let's see how the market moves on Monday. So stay tuned for that. IWM, which is the Russell 2000 ETF. This has been quite a ride. I've rolled this 22 times. It's working. I mean, I got a 210, 235, got plenty of credit. I just need to see more of a vol crush, and I'm going to take this off, and I can celebrate for the fact that I've been in this trade for probably 18 months to maybe close to 2 years. So obviously I will let everyone know about this, but I'm still in it, and hopefully we'll get a 50% gain. JD is JD.com. It's a Chinese ADR. For those of you, again, seeking exposure into China, this is one of the ways to go about it. Or you could do Alibaba, or you could do Baidu, or of course you can do FXI, one of the Chinese ETFs. I've been in this 3 rolls, so it's been a couple months. Initially, this started off as an earnings trade, and here we are. We're still in it. So I need this thing to move up. Again, ideally like to take it for a 50% gain and move onward and upward. LUV is Southwest Airlines. I've got a covered call. Actually, I have 200 shares. I got 2 covered calls on it. I need the stock to move up. It's that simple. And it has somewhat, but more is better. And my calls are slightly in the money. But again, if I get called away, it's all about reducing my cost basis at this point. And right now, it's kind of just been staying in a very tight range, sort of like 26 to 29, maybe even 30. So, but most likely I will roll this. Actually, I already rolled it, so I'm not going to have to roll it now, but most likely we'll take it with me into earnings next month. LVS, this is Las Vegas Sands. If anyone can tell me what's going on with the gaming stocks, because they seem to be making a bit more of an uptick these last couple of weeks. But LVS, Las Vegas Sands, I got a naked put at 45. I feel like I've been in this trade for a really long time. Also, it's been 4 rolls, so give or take, it's been a couple months. Looks like I will take this. I will roll it next week and then take it with me into earnings, which is also a little less than a month away. But again, we'll look forward to anyone's thoughts on the gaming, on the casino industry there. UAL is United Airlines, which I actually rolled this call this week. It's a covered call of 100 shares. I've got a covered call at 43. I need the stock to continue to move up. And again, I got earnings coming up also probably about 3 weeks. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this thing rolls. And if I get a sign, great. If not, I'll continue to just roll the position out until I can hopefully reduce my cost basis to 0. WMT is Walmart. I actually sold a naked put in Walmart earlier this week. Its trade is working. Walmart's been moving up. It's been doing what it has to do. Hopefully we'll take this off for 50% and maybe put it on again. Not sure, but so far so good. There is one stock on here there is one stock that's not on here that was on here for the last several years. And that was XBI. XBI is the biotech ETF. I actually took this off on Friday. By the way, there was a dividend. There was I think it went ex-dividend today, and I will give a small presentation on ex-dividend. Probably next week I'll upload something on that for those of you who may have questions as to what that means and how can it impact one's position. But XBI, just wanted to let everyone know, I did take it off. I took it off for about a 23% overall gain. The reason why I did that was because it's IV. The IV rank was actually below 10. I think it was in the mid 8s, like 8.5 or 9.2, 9.3. And it was just time for me to take it off. It was a good run while it lasted. And again, I was able to do that. I was able to stay in this position for quite some time because I kept the trade small. I just limited it at this point just to 1 contract. So I was able to stay, was able to roll that trade, was obviously able to recenter my strikes, put up the good fight, and we won. We won that fight. So onward and upward from here. Again, for those of you who did find value, please subscribe to my channel. Please, thumbs up is always great. And of course, I'd like to hear your comments. Again, what's going on with Mexico? Why is Mexico having such a difficult, dark time right now, at least according to its ETF of EWW, as well as seeing an uptick in some of the gaming stocks. I look forward to seeing everyone at the next video.